Hello and welcome. My name is Kate Marand. I'm a program manager at the DC Department of Small and Local Business Development, also known as DSLBD. This is part of our ongoing series with DC's Department of Energy and the Environment, learning about the many different divisions in the agency and how small businesses here in the district can interface with them. I want to share that the District of Columbia is a leader in combating climate change, and there are so many different ways that the district is moving forward on energy and other sustainability items to make sure that we continue to be that leader. And so I'm incredibly excited today to introduce you to Daniel White, who's going to tell you about going solar in DC. Daniel, I'll turn it over.
Thank you so much, and welcome everybody. As we mentioned at the beginning, my name is Daniel White. I'm an energy program specialist in the Renewable Energy and Clean Transportation branch at the Department of Energy and Environment. My work focuses mostly on energy policies and programs to help provide property owners, residents, and other stakeholders access to resources for integrating energy efficiency, renewable energy, and affordability and sustainability into various projects located in the district. So today's topic is going solar in DC, and we're going to talk specifically about how small businesses and businesses get access to tools, funding resources, and programs that are available here in the district. So to start off, the District of Columbia has some of the most aggressive clean energy and climate policies in the nation. Under the leadership of the mayor, the district has committed to a 100% renewable energy goal by 2032. Also, to have 10% of that renewable energy come from local solar sources by 2041, and to have the district become a carbon neutral city by 2050. So those are some very aggressive goals. Recently, we've done a solar technology potential study of the district and have shown that solar is going to play a significant role in helping the district to achieve the climate and energy goals that we have set. Um, so just a little bit about the solar market. The district solar market is one of the best in the country. In 2021, despite pandemic challenges and other conditions, we did about 237 new solar energy systems locally. And totally in the district, we have 10,013 solar energy systems in the district that were certified for our renewable portfolio standard. So the renewable portfolio standard is basically the district's tracking system to be able to see how much renewable energy we are actually certifying and making available in the District of Columbia. And that is managed by the Public Service Commission. Next slide. So the first thing you want to do, when you're thinking about going solar to get started is to figure out, is your site good for solar? So we have a tool that you can get on your laptop or your iPhone, or your cell phone, or get onto your tablet to be able to access what we call Mapwell. Mapwell is a solar site assessment tool that allows you to be able to go in and actually see systems that are installed in the district. You can also get a sense of the economics that are there for a project, the cost per watt, how much the system installation will cost, and then it breaks down some of the technical and environmental benefits as well. So this is a great place to start, because once you have this as kind of a baseline, you can then reach out to local solar installers to have the conversation about how, what their site assessment would be, because they could come out and actually do a on-site assessment, which may be much more thorough than this summary, but at least this gives you kind of a sense of what it should look like as a standard kind of like benchmark. It even breaks down kind of the potential shading. So it will tell you in the light areas, that's where you have a lot of solar resource available on the site that you're looking up. And as the areas get darker, that lets you know that, there may be some shading or you have less solar potential there. So in the example that I've pulled up. It's a small business in Ward 7, Minix Market, that we actually helped go solar a few years back. So, they have a great rooftop space. We're able to get about 10 kW of solar on their system, which helped to, offset their energy bills by about 15% annually. So it was a great way for that small business to be able to get a little more revenue back into day-to-day operations. So, we look forward to, helping other organizations or businesses do the same. So after doing the actual site assessment, the next thing is to kind of talk to the contractors, or you can get technical assistance through some of our partners. One of our partners is the DC Sustainable Energy Utility. We've contracted with them to provide renewable energy and energy efficiency assistance to small businesses, as well as commercial, larger scale businesses, to be able to invest in understanding your site and determining what is the best solution for you. We always encourage anyone that's thinking about solar to think about energy efficiency first, because when you can help reduce that load or help reduce how much energy you're consuming, that will help you to save even more, once you invest in the renewable aspect of it. And solar is just one technology. You can always do energy storage, or you can also do green roofs, or other technologies that can also integrate into your project to maximize your savings. Another resource site is the Department of Energy and Environment, of course. We have a landing page that allows you to have a list of the eligible contractors or contractors that are have worked with us in the past and are available to work with you to kind of help you with your site assessment and find incentives from the federal or local to be able to help offset some of the costs for your project. We also have funding opportunity announcements that are listed on our website to allow you to see what other funding may be coming from the Department of Energy and Environment to help you not only with solar, but you can also get access to um, other resources like green building innovation and our Solar for All program. In addition to the Department of Energy and Environment, we also have the DC Green Bank, which was legislatively mandated a few years ago. It's been in operation, I think, for the last 2.5 years, going on 3 now. They're still coming up with great projects and resources that can be used to leverage funding that is normally maybe not available in most markets, because they specifically get funding from the Renewable Energy Development Fund to be able to leverage to make loans and make them at a very affordable rate, to allow smaller businesses or other organizations in the district to be able to maximize their investment into clean energy and help the district meet their goals, as well as helping those small businesses save some money. Um, these are just a couple of the programs. You have the Property Assessed Clean Energy program, as well as the Commercial Loan for Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energies program, and a program that's coming soon, the Small Business Loan Fund. So you can definitely reach out to the Green Bank. I have the link at the top of this slide for you to be able to access and learn more about that. I noticed there's a couple of questions that are in the chat, and I will get to those shortly. I think I'm just about done. Yep, absolutely. So that's it for my slides. I can actually get into those questions. Hey, is it a way for you to get into the chat?
Yeah, I'd be happy to read the questions off if that's helpful.
Yes, because I think I was trying to get in there, and I think I just did. I see one question. I think it says, how do we become a part of the DOEE list as a solar installation resource? When you go to our page, you click on the link from DOEE solar resource site, and it has a link to my colleague, Mr. Nikai Washington, who is the manager of that list, and you can email him, and then he can walk you through the process of being able to get added to the list. Yeah, we look forward to expanding that list because that's very helpful for, new businesses coming into the market who may not know, what the lay of the land is and where to start. So, having that list just to help show people there are organizations that specifically target clean energy in the district.
Wonderful. Another question is, can solar panels charge on-site batteries? For example, to deal with sump pumps during floodings and blackouts?
Great question. Yes, absolutely. But remember, solar works when the sun is shining. So if there's cloudy days or you have overcast that's happening, you may not get the maximized amount of solar production, but you can definitely connect solar to energy storage sources to be able to use that to leverage the solar to run those during operational times.
Thank you for that. And just to let everyone know, if you're not looking, I believe we've dropped in the solar contractors and installers link in the chat if you're looking for that. I know Alice has had her hand raised. So Alice, if you want to come off of mute and ask your question, please do.
Oh, hi, good morning, and well, good afternoon. Thank you. I wanted to know if you have information on the smaller solar panels that look like regular shingles rather than the large panels.
Yes, absolutely. We don't specifically, I guess, market the products or the solar panels that are used in our installations. Normally, when you reach out to one of the solar installers, if you ask them about um, getting they call them integrated solar shingles,
Okay,
they can, talk to you more about that. I know that there were a few projects that installed those type of panels, in the past, in the early days of our incentive program. So one thing that I would note, they are very good for those areas that may have challenges with like zoning codes, like historic districts, and where you may have homeowners associations where there are specific restrictions. However, they are more expensive than your traditional solar panel, and in some cases may not produce as much energy just because you have smaller um, space for
okay.
the solar to be absorbed.
I did notice at 13th and Missouri Northwest, there's a building right on 13th Street, basically behind the McDonald's, where they have a beautiful roof with solar panels that look like regular shingles, but
Mm-hmm.
they're metal. They're not, and they're maybe 24 by 24, and they were installed in a very nice, pleasing design.
Yes, and I haven't seen that specific installation, but you can definitely work with any vendor that you select to be able to kind of talk through your options of different panel design and installation strategies, to get the panels to kind of be seamless and as attractive as they can be.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
No problem.
I'm not seeing any additional questions in the chat or hands raised. If you do have a question, if you could drop it in the chat or raise your hand. And in the meantime, I know I have a question, and I don't know, Daniel, if this is one that you'll be able to fully answer. I know in years past, we've had business owners who are commercial tenants express challenges in convincing their landlords to put solar into the building, even though in part because the business was the one that was financing the cost of the electricity. And so therefore the incentive wasn't as strong for the building owner to go through that. I don't know if you have seen anything change on that landscape, or if you've worked with any businesses who've been successful in thinking about, how to incentivize their landlords in those spaces. If you don't have comment on it, it's fine, but I'm curious if you do have any comment in any directions that might be helpful to commercial tenants who are trying to encourage their landlords to make this shift.
Yes, I'm glad you asked that question. 2017, I believe, we had a grant opportunity under our Solar for All program for innovation and expansion. We had a organization, New Partners, who basically worked with downtown office buildings to help work through the nuances to be able to have agreements to allow those buildings to contract to do solar, and it would benefit the tenants of the building, as well as through our Solar for All program, other underserved community households that met our eligibility criteria. So it's not something that is mainstream, so to speak, just yet, but there are a few projects that have gone through that path, and may be able to help organizations that are interested in looking at that to kind of share some lessons learned. So you can definitely have them reach out and email me, and we could connect them directly to our partners that we work with that might be able to help them move forward.
Super appreciate that. I've got a couple more questions in the chat, so I'll keep working through them. What is the best practice for businesses getting quotes for solar? Should they select 3 from the installers list and just reach out to them? What should folks do?
Yeah, absolutely. We always recommend that you get, more than one estimate, just because you want to be able to compare and make sure that you're getting the best cost available, for your project, so that you can maximize the return on investment for your particular project. So the solar list is not comprehensive, the one that we provide, but it is a good place to start. So, you may be able to find other installers that are in the market that could also give you a quote. But again, the list that we provide is just a good place for you to start.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. 2 more questions currently in the chat. And if you have questions, again, raise your hand or please drop them in the chat, but I'll work through these too. This next question. Some buildings want to use their rooftops for garden spaces for employees. Do you see any buildings that are adding solar panels on top of arbors or shade structures, essentially integration of garden space and solar?
Yeah, that's been a delicate balance that we've been trying to approach with the businesses that have that valuable real estate on the rooftop. Do I do the solar system, or do I go with the rooftop deck and other amenities that can increase revenue streams maybe more than the solar could? But what we have seen are there are some creative mounting and racking systems that have been used to do canopies to install rooftop solar on those buildings. The only challenge in the district is we have a height limit, which means sometimes if you're extending, and putting that canopy or, some type of structure on top of the roof, and then the solar on top of that, you may run into some zoning challenges with getting that approved. So you just have to make sure that as you're looking at any specific designs, that you're able to, take that into account and kind of work through that in the design phase to make sure that, you're not running into that issue.
Thank you for that. And I have two additional questions. One new one came in. What about sand batteries? And I don't know what sand batteries are. So if you know what sand batteries are, Daniel, I would love for you to explain it. But what about sand batteries, and are they in use here in DC?
I am not familiar with the use of sand batteries. I've heard of the technology, but I don't know that we have any of those in use, currently in the district.
Thank you for that. And then this other question is, and I'm not sure, we might need to do a clarification on the question, but you might be able to follow from what it is. The question, I think, is what if I need a new roof first, like a mansard roof? So if someone is, I guess the question is, if someone is looking to install solar, but they need a new roof first, do you have any comment or resources or anything to share related to that?
Absolutely. It is always encouraged to determine the age of your roof before investing in solar, just because you are looking at installing an asset that will be, in service for 25, maybe 30 years. So if you have a roof that's already, maybe 7, 8 years old, at some point you're going to need to do maintenance or repair to that roof. So you want to do that service, at the same time as the time that you're doing your solar installation, but you definitely want to consider, your roof age um, as you're looking at investing in solar.
Wonderful. I don't know if there are any further questions from the group. I haven't seen any come in, and I haven't seen anyone raise their hand. We'll do a last call for questions. And then I don't know if this is a question that you can speak to Daniel, but as we look to support small businesses in all sorts of different ways, I don't know if you just have any commentary on why someone as a business might want to get into solar installation or other parts of the industry or other parts of going green, and just what that means for a business that maybe isn't just using this as utility but is getting directly involved in the industry, and just any commentary that you might have on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to take that question, but just going to step back to expand on the roof question, because there are some installers that you will look at and talk to and work with that potentially have roofing contractors that are associated with them. So that is a question that you may want to ask, because if you're able to get a installer that also has the expertise of roofing, I think that can help you get the best bang for your buck. So to the commentary question, I think the main thing that we're seeing with small businesses is about trying to, save money and add additional revenue if possible into their business model, and using renewable and clean energy in addition to making your building more efficient and protecting the environment can be very lucrative in the district, just because we have a incentives such as solar renewable energy credits that are payments made to clean energy or solar producers in the district. So every year, the energy suppliers have to make sure that they are making available a certain amount of solar energy. In the cases where they don't have access to, that solar energy, they then will turn to um, residents or businesses that have solar that's being generated on their rooftop to be able to buy that green attribute to be able to meet their alternative compliance requirement as part of the renewable portfolio standard. So that's just an additional revenue stream that is part of solar that is a benefit to businesses and those that invest in solar in the district. And it's kind of unique because our market is pretty robust right now, and I think we are seeing values of those solar renewable energy credits at about $302 per megawatt hour. So as an example, the average system can usually produce about 4 to 5, RECs annually. So you're looking at $1,500 to $1,800 in additional revenue that you really don't have to do anything to receive that. It's just your system generating as it normally would, every day. And then you have the benefit of tax incentives as well that are offered from the federal level. So if you have a tax debt that you could look at, and you have 26% of the total cost of your install, that would be another potential financial incentive for businesses that may want to help offset some of their current tax debt. That would help in that way as well. So again, I think it's a economic investment, and I think that choice is up to each of the individual businesses, but we definitely are here to help guide you and provide any access to resources that we are aware of to help you in that decision, so that we also are able to encourage more distributed energy resources and clean energy to be deployed in the district, and to benefit local businesses to create more jobs as well.
Thank you for all of that. We are, well, I see Mike has raised his hand. I think he had his hand up earlier. Mike, if you want to come off of mute, feel free. And Mike, you're still on mute. I can see if I can help unmute you. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to point out, this has been real interesting, real informative, especially for people who aren't in the business. My business, NRG COOP, does all of these implementations, including solar. And one of the things that's not understood in the solar is in DC, we pretty much have no upfront costs whenever anyone wants solar. Because of the solar renewable energy credits, and also because of other incentives that are there in the district. But one of the things in terms of selling people on doing solar, it lowers the operating expenses and we do mostly commercial buildings. But one of the things I'm amazed people don't understand is when you lower your operating expenses, you're increasing your asset value. So if you lower just to make it simple, if you lower your operating expenses by $1, you're increasing your asset value, the value of your real estate, by anywhere between 5 and 10 times because of the cap rate. So I think that's an important thing in terms of encouraging the use of solar, which is what we're all about. So I just wanted to point that out.
Mike, thank you so much for sharing. And there were definitely questions or comments in the chat saying how helpful that comment was as well. I will go ahead and do this very last question, because I already promised it would be a last question, and then I know we'll need to wrap because it's at time. And this is about backup storage units. And so the question is, are backup storage units included in the grants from DOEE?
In some of our grants,